Hello and welcome to the Evercade Retreat. Gene Joke here, and today I'm bringing you a review and ranking of Batsugun as I add it to my ever-growing list of every Evercade game ever. Batsugun and the Batsugun Special Edition can both be found on the Turplan Arcade Collection 3. It was released in the arcades in 1993 and was the final game released by Turplan. The Special Edition was shown at some kind of games show exhibition in 1994 but was never fully released. At least I think that's the case anyway. But anyway, Batsugun being Turplan's final release and final shoot 'em up, it essentially combined all the elements from their various shoot 'em ups they'd done over the years, a genre they were masters of, and put it into one distinct package. It's said to be the first true bullet hell shoot 'em up, or maybe the precursor to the bullet hell genre, or sub-genre. I don't know about any of that, but it certainly has some elements to that for sure. You choose one of 3 characters, and I believe there's a second set of 3 characters for the second player, but I haven't actually played it multiplayer. Each of these characters have their own fire types and strengths and weaknesses, and as you play deeper into the game, they all gain experience, level up, and your fire or your weapons fire and things become more powerful. Like most vertically scrolling shoot 'em ups, you also have a bomb power up, and there's plenty of these distributed through the game. The weapons are also very satisfying to use. The game makes you feel powerful, but not so powerful the game is too easy. Although compared to many Turplan shoot 'em ups, it is rather easy, or it begins that way, which I suppose does give that power fantasy aspect. But as the game progresses, it does become more difficult and you get into the true bullet hell style gameplay, with a screen filled with seemingly hundreds of bullets, but the small hitboxes do allow you to bob and weave through them, which again is very satisfying. The Special Edition version seems to have even smaller hitboxes. I could be wrong on that, but it does certainly feel that way. The other changes included involve the game looping. The original game has 5 stages which you play through. On the Special Edition, after the 5th level you loop back to the 2nd level. On completing the 2nd level you go back to the 3rd, loop again, and then the 4th, essentially giving you 14 levels to play through. Naturally each loop ramps up in difficulty. There are a few other less noticeable changes. I'm sure there's a bit of colour and palettes, I won't say swapped, but adjustments, and I believe the scoring was modified. But honestly, it's not something I pay too close attention to because I get caught up in the pew 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 action of it all. Because after all, it is a shoot 'em up and that's what they're all about. And honestly, Batsugun is one of the most fun shoot 'em ups I've ever played. It's easy to pick up and get the general gist of, but there's quite a lot to master between the different characters, especially if you genuinely want to get good at it to get through all the loops and extras on the Special Edition. Because while it's an easy enough game if you credit feed and brute force your way through, as you get further into it, it definitely does become quite a bit of a challenge, and it either eats up a lot of credits, or if you're playing it for a 1cc, well, you might not get very far until you get good. Where I think the game really succeeds is the gentle introduction. Many similar games have a too boring or too tedious and too easy introduction, but Batsugun gets going pretty quickly. It's exciting for the get-go but not overly challenging. On my very first play of the game I made it through to the second boss of it, and on a game with 5 stages that sounds like quite a chunk to get through, but it does really ramp up from there. The point is, I think regardless of whether you're a more casual shoot 'em up player or if you're very hardcore and you want to master it, Batsugun has something to offer. It's fun for both styles of gameplay. There is a story to the game, some kind of future Earth-like planet under some kind of invasion from a global military coup or something, but yeah, pew 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 action, who cares. Apparently there is a manga about it, which is apparently rare and what have you, so yeah, never read it, don't know much about it, and yeah. Anyway, moving on. Graphically, the game is very good. The characters on the selection screen have that typical anime manga look as you'd expect, but the in-game graphics are very colourful, detailed, and the whole thing is very satisfying to blast through. It's a feast for the eyes. The music is also really good, as it often is with Turplan games, and really suits the gameplay. It really leans into that sort of heroic action stuff that suits shoot 'em up so well. Overall it is a fantastic shoot 'em up, and I would say possibly the best on the Evercade. Certainly the best that I've added to my ranking list so far, but I'll get to that in a moment. Prior to getting the Turplan Collection 3, I had never played Batsugun, either version, although I had heard of the game. It's just something I'd missed. It was ported to the Saturn, but I never owned a Saturn. So there's no nostalgia here, but I absolutely love the game, and it's getting placed very highly on my overall ranking list. But how high? Well, it's going straight in at the number 2 spot, above Sword of Iana, but below Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. And I think if I didn't have nostalgia for Soul Reaver, it might have taken the top spot. But again, how do you compare a new discovery of a game that you have a lot of fun playing, but it is a shorter, smaller game, against something you've got massive nostalgia for? It's much more in depth, but due to the nature of the game, you've only played through it 2, maybe 3 times in 25 years. So in my case, nostalgia topped it out. Now I have just ranked this as one game, although technically there's 2 separate games, Batsugun and Batsugun Special Edition, but they are so similar and essentially it's a tweaked, slightly remixed version, and I don't feel it maybe differentiated them enough to warrant separate rankings, and there really wouldn't be a lot between them anyway, although as a general rule, if I'm going to play it, I'm mostly going to play the Special Edition. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.